Hello, my sweet dear magical friends. Welcome to Shifting Consciousness, North Node nods Aries. In this video, we're going to explore the 3 steps that I have for you outlined in how to deal with this energy for the next year and a half. The nodes of the moon are shifting next week at the time that I'm recording and publishing this from the Taurus Scorpio axis into the Aries Libra axis. Very quickly, summarily, the nodes of the moon are these 2 points in the sky. It's where the moon's orbital path crosses the ecliptic. These are the 3 things that you want to keep in mind throughout the next year and a half. Number 1, assess and own our Libra karma. So the South Node, it's not just an easy, I'm giving you 3 easy steps, but I don't want you to think of this as a very easy, it's simple, but it's not easy. That's the thing. So it's simple, but it's not easy. So don't think of it as it's easy to think about it in this way or that way. It's simple to think about it, but it's not easy to accomplish. Okay, so we're going to start with the karma, and then we're going to reach for the destiny, then we're going to reach for the North Node. The first step that you want to do, assess and own your Libra karma as an individual. So look to see where you have Libra in your chart, look at that house. And you want to set your magical alarms for denying your own needs, codependence, needing approval, social climbing, social capital, being judge and jury in that Libra area of life. That's where you can be a little bit judgy. These are the shadow sides. Set the magical alerts in your life, set the alarms in your mind, embed it into your subconscious that you recognize when this is happening over the next year and a half. These feelings inside of yourself, watching this in your relationships in these areas of life. Assess your own personal relationship karma through prayer, meditation, or reflection. You want to think about all of your personal one-to-one relationships with clients, marriages, business partners, and any and all committed partnerships, relationships in general. Look at your actualized past relationships, the relationships that you have already been in, how they went, in general, but also you want to look at that separately from your perspective on and your approach to relating. These are very separate. So there was you in these relationships, and then there was like a private you that had a specific outlook and perspective and approach to relating in general, not just relating in that relationship, but just relating generally. So think about those 2 things separately. And ask yourself, have you created painful situations for yourself due to your own indecisiveness, due to you denying that you have needs, either to yourself and or to others, being codependent on codependence, being codependent on codependent people, shallowness, and or because maybe you feared being rejected? Did you create painful situations for yourself because you feared being rejected, because you were being shallow, because you were afraid of change or afraid of something different? This is the most important part. This first step is the most important step. I'm a bad news first type of person, so I'm giving you I'm a Saturn baby, so I'm going to give you all of the hardest stuff first and then be very happy that the rest of it's fun and easy. But this is the most important part for you to be honest with yourself about. It's always important for you to be honest with yourself, but this first step, it's really crucial that you are honest with yourself about all of this so that this works, so that then everything else I say is not just in vain or wasted breath, that it actually works for you. You've got to be honest with yourself about this. Honestly, just being honest with you and yourself. Explore the shadow side of Libra in your chart. We have Scorpio up as our as our fixed example. So for Scorpio risings, it would be Libra in the 12th house, and so it would be a lot of relationship karma subconsciously that are really, all of those things that you do, or your approaches and your attitudes towards relationships that you don't know are self-sabotaging, are probably going to be coming up for you over the next year and a half, but it's going to be coming up for you to expel and alchemize into a strength, and we're going to talk about that next. It's just an example. So being honest with yourself, assess how big of a problem this is. Maybe you have Libra in your 6th house, and this is a little bit less, maybe the stakes are not so high where it's not like your relationship's on the line. Maybe this is, and maybe you're not going through any like big health crises. Maybe this is just a little bit different than that. and it's not so consequential. Maybe you don't have any planets or points in Libra. Maybe Libra and Venus are not that big of energies in your chart. Ask yourself all of this, being honest with yourself, seeing the shadow energies of Libra acting in your life, assessing how big of a problem this is, and what's, really at stake. Are these mistakes that you're making, or are these choices or decisions that you're making, are they really wreaking havoc in your life? Is this, is how assess the damage, or the happiness quotient or the satisfactory quotient. Just really try to assess that in your life, because the core of this self-sabotage is rooted in a fear of independence. There's a fear, it's rooted in a fear of standing your ground, standing for something, standing alone. You're giving all of this away. You're giving yourself away, your happiness away, your life away, your time away, whatever you're giving away, you're giving it away because of this fear. And that's where the self-sabotage is happening. The shadow suppresses the light. The shadow self overcomes the light, your light self, when you don't trust your intuition, and when you remain quiet instead of speaking for yourself, instead of standing your ground, instead of standing for something, instead of saying what you need. Step number 2, I feel like the Virgin Mary with blue hair or something. My hair like this. I'm sorry, I don't mean to blaspheme anyone's deity today. Number 2, you want to, okay, so you've already assessed your shadow side, you've assessed the damage or the happiness quotient, or, just kind of taking stock, being analytical about all of these things and looking at the real world implications, the actualized potential, the results that you've gotten, and, all of that. Now, step 2, we are going to assess and appreciate our Libra karma talents. So this really is quite simple, but it's not easy. The South Node represents stuck patterning, what we need to move away from, expel, maybe alchemize into a strength, but it also will tell you what you have a knack for, what you're naturally good at, what you've brought with you into this, in your natal chart, what you've brought with you into this lifetime from past lifetimes. You've already done the development. You've already developed that skill, talent, or ability in the past lifetime, and now it's a knack in this lifetime. By transit, you can access and unlock these Libra karmic talents, or even if you already have something there, it could come in handy for you. So whether you have the knack or not, hold the highest image for this part of your life at its peak peace, natural compromise, the elegance, the successful diplomacy, the fairness. Hold the highest vision of all of those beautiful, positive Libra traits in your mind's eye. You show up to this area of your life and these relationships in your life governed by this house with only these refined traits and elements. You want to celebrate your gentle, refined qualities. I can barely say it. Qualities, like in a nice, calm way, because that's what Libra likes. So celebrate this in your life, in that area of your life. Show up in that way to that area of your life, and, use that part of your personality. We're supposed to embody the highest expression of all 12 zodiac signs in all these different areas of life. So try to bring that forward. I have my Mars in Aries, so I'm like, oh. But, try to show up like that, and use that part of your energy, whether you have the knack for it or not. It'll be easier for some of you and it'll be more difficult for others of you. Some of you do this way overboard, and that's when you give most of yourself away to keep the peace, whatever. But you just focus on using it and enjoying the benefits of it. Enjoy the benefits of these. This is an area of your life that you care about creating a harmonious environment. You care about everybody getting along. So you've likely already created that in some way, shape, or form in that area. So go ahead and enjoy it. Enjoy what you've created for yourself, those relationships, but without over focusing and without over relying. You just hold it ever so lightly in your consciousness. Hold it to the highest vision. But when you go overboard, when that shadow starts to peer out, when you're sort of over focusing on social capital, or you're super judgy and you're over focusing on on other people rather than yourself. That kind of thing. Set your alarm, set your magical alarm for it. It's very, very important. Number 3, I wrote this out longhand, so that's why we're very nice and concise today. And I want you to be able to come back to this video and just get exactly what you need. Number 3, finally, last but not least, this is really important, but you won't be able to do this part until you do those other 2 steps first. Step number 3, step into your God-given Aries destiny. Yes, please. Take a stand. Take a stand. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Okay, take a stand. Start something new, brand new, different. Love yourself more than anyone and everyone else. I really mean this one. You have to love yourself so fiercely over the next year and a half. That's the destiny. That love will never be compared to any other kind of love. This is a very unique Aries self-love. No one, and that is because no one will ever be able to love you from you. It is unrivaled. It is wholly unique, and that's the point. And that's what you've got to step into. And you have to live it. It has to be very vivid and very real for you. It has to be, it's you-shaped. It's like, it's not a cookie cutter that you can buy from the store. It's you, the shape of you shaped. And that's what you're sort of creating in this area of your life, in the Aries area of your life. Over the next year and a half, there will be fated portals, people, and events that will open to you and for you over the next year and a half, helping you fully develop a singular identity in this area of life. How exciting is this, you guys? That's the point, is to stand apart, stand alone, stand in your own true image and vision for yourself. You have to create that image, though. This isn't about you fitting in and going with the flow. This is about you creating this image, you creating this character, icon, personality, persona, image, reputation, health system, morning routine, relationship with a child, whatever this happens to be. It has to be so you-shaped, and it just has to like have your stamp all over it. That's the point. A singular identity. Aries, it's just Aries. Number one. Okay, assess the Aries area of your life and ask yourself, what do I want? What do I really want? That'll be important. You must become more independent and learn, grow, and develop this new leveling up in your identity in this area of life. You have to strike out on your own, stand alone, stand apart, and learn about yourself, learn about what you want, learn about how you respond to things, learn about what makes you feel this way or that way in order to really get to it. Now, in the beginning, we're just like, I'm recording this before it's even happened. So in the beginning, focus on figuring out who you are first. I would focus on this area of life and seeing yourself through that lens. Who are you in this area of life? How do you want to show up? And how do you want your identity to change and grow and become more individuated, independent, and be celebrated for that, be loved for that, for how unique and different you are, and how you do stand for something. That's what will come to define you, is what you stand for. And the strength of that feeling, the courage, the independence, the willingness to strike out because you believe in something, because you're taking a stand, because you believe in this idea or this image, whatever this happens to be for you in your mind. Make sure that you are putting your needs first. Even in relationships, in this area of life, in the Aries area of life, put yourself first, even when it comes to relationships. Otherwise, you will put their needs before your own first, before figuring out what your needs even are, and you just gave your whole life away. You just gave it all up. You just like, you're living life as an accident. Okay, that's what we need the Aries energy for. Okay, so this is big. This is a huge focus. It's a huge focus shift. This is a shifting of the consciousness. We were just ruled by Venus for the last year and a half, with the North Node being in Taurus, and now that just gets turned on its head. Now it's about Mars. It's about using your head, but you're freaking, any horned zodiacal creatures in the house. Yes, we're Capricorns here. Yes, it's about sharpening those horns. The focus shift. You're shifting your consciousness to prioritize and to care only for your internal peace. I said it, caring only about taking care of your internal peace rather than focusing on relationship peace. Internal balance over relationship balance. This is why you have to accurately assess yourself in the first step. That's why you have to put yourself into practice in the second step. That's why you have to do those before you get to this step, because this one will falter. You won't be able to do it all the way. You'll stop. You'll give up on yourself, essentially, because you won't have. This is why you need to do it the way as I have described. I know it sounds scary because you've just been living the North Node in a Venus ruled sign for the last year, and I totally get it. Totally get it. Sit with it. Come back to this video. Watch it throughout the next year and a half if you like. Listen to your anger. Anger is the alert system to let us know when our boundaries are being pushed on or crossed: financial, physical, emotional, sexual, time, energy, privacy, boundaries, all the boundaries. So listen to your anger and protect your boundaries. A new self is being reinvented, and it's a beautiful process. You're giving birth to something that is wholly you-shaped and unique, and it's got your smell smeared all over it, and it will by the year and a half that this is over. So be excited for this adventure. And I would say, whatever you're starting anything new, don't be afraid of it at all. What I'll say as a Mars in Aries is the best thing, it's the most fun thing, is to be very impassioned with an idea. Go and start it, do your thing, and then you have to just be Jerry Maguire and you say, this is what I'm doing. Anyone else that wants to join me, you are welcome. Come on board, come on down. You're my kind of person. But you have to be the one to put the stick in the ground and say, this is what I'm doing. If you're interested, hop on, come join. Let's go. Let's do it. I'm excited. All right, guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. So this is the overall, right? This is the biggest picture possible to look at this nodal shift. We're going to have eclipses in these areas. We're going to have challenges to these areas. We're going to have retrogrades. We're going to have stations. We're going to have big aspects. So all of those things are going to further like bump into other things and rock things and clash things and move things along to serve these purposes. So if you are resistant to letting go of your codependence on your codependent children, these eclipses are probably going to shake that really loose and rattle it all up. If you are really shying away from doing anything new or starting anything or believing in yourself, you may be pushed out. These eclipses or the next year and a half could push you out and force you to figure something out, force you to be all alone, all on your own, and make your way forward. So let's shift the consciousness over so that you're already like in that mindset of, you know, healthy self-esteem, healthy self-worth, self-confidence. And just remember that no one will ever be able to love you from you. It's a very unique, special, private self-love, fiery, impassioned Aries self-love. So look forward and get the imagination going on how you can build that up with yourself, and that's something that you can enjoy, just you with you. And that is going to be the spiritual sustenance that powers you and serves you and provides you that inner balance and that inner peace, so that it helps you tune out what everyone else is saying, because they don't know you like you know you. They don't know your life like you know your life. And that's what's going to help the pioneers over the next year and a half really. I'll be excited to watch. Until next time, my loves, vote for your favorite sub club. Patreon.com/thefirstarteagan. Until next time, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings.